Hi everyone, and welcome to Guitar Lessons for Beginners, now in quarantine. And my name is Orlando Baños Rivas. I will be your guide through this journey into learning to make music with this wonderful instrument and bringing a little bit of happiness to this time of quarantine. So I hope that you will also enjoy the journey as much as I will enjoy taking you on it. So I've been playing the guitar since I was a teenager. I started with classical lessons and then I switched over to more contemporary things like rock and roll and things like that, mostly for the fun of playing with my friends and the love of the, um, the guitar. So I love music, I love all sorts of music, and guitar is in particular one of the things that I enjoy the most. Um, so with that, what I like to do is to begin by developing a common vocabulary so we have a way of connecting through these lessons and you understand what I'm trying to communicate. So first off, for the guitar, for this lesson, what I will be using is my classical guitar, and some of you have folk guitars, some of you have electric guitars. What I will demonstrate applies to both in all kinds of six-string instruments, but um, but my emphasis will be on learning how to play the classical guitar, even though we're not going to be learning to play classical music. So let's begin with what the parts of the guitar are called. The bottom half of the guitar is the guitar body, and that's where the sound hole resides. And the sound hole is what vibrates and makes the sound that we hear. Uh, the best guitars have fine woods and you know frames that allow for this sound they produce to be rich in tones and have multiple harmonics and be really pleasant to the ear. But what I want to demonstrate is that it is the body of the guitar that makes the sound come out. So even without plucking on the string, I will tap with my tuning fork, and you will see how um, the vibration from the tuning fork translated onto the guitar sound generates a tone. If I repeat this demo with a different tuning fork, tuned to a different key, you will hear the guitar body make another note. So basically what's happening is that the vibrations from the guitar are being amplified by the body, by the sound box, and output via the sound hole. On the top side of the guitar, we have what's called the fingerboard, and in the fingerboard we have these inlays called the frets. So the frets are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, until you get to fret number 12, which coincides with the round of the guitar, and so on and so forth. But that's the designation of these inlays. Up here on the head of the guitar, we have the tuning keys, and as you know, this will be used for tuning our guitar. So let's see here. In standard tuning, which is how classical guitars are typically tuned, how we're going to be tuning the guitar for this lesson, we have the first string tuned to the note of E, the second string is a B, the third string is a G, the fourth string is tuned to a D, the fifth is tuned to an A, and the sixth is tuned to another E, one octave lower than the first, two octaves lower than the first E. So the adjustments are through these tuning keys that I'm showing on the head of the guitar, and the bottom right, if you will, controls the first string, the subsequent one controls the second string, and so on and so forth. The adjustment goes around the head of the guitar as shown. So try to adjust the camera so you can see what I'm doing here. Should adjust myself. It's a little bit better. Okay. Now, as I have mentioned before, in this class we're going to be needing a couple of tools, and one of them is this application called Guitar4QB, which is free, and you should have it on your mobile app. And what this is going to allow us to do is to keep our strings in tune. And so I'm launching the app in my iPhone right now, and I'm going to demonstrate to you just right there how it works. So this is the tuning screen, and as you will see on this side, there's a little button that has a slide button that says auto. So what we want is to make that auto so that it automatically detects the string that you're plucking and it tells you whether or not it is in tune. So let's try that. It looks like my first string is in tune because the app gave me a little ding. If it was out of tune, like that, what will happen is that there is a little pointer that's off of the red line in the middle, but as I turn the key, in this case clockwise, to increase the frequency of vibration, the pointer gets closer and closer to the red line in the middle until the app tells me, yep, you're in tune. Moving on to the second string, in this case it's in tune, and it tells me that's a B, and it's happy with it. The third string is way out of tune, so I'm going to start slowly turning it and watching the pointer on the screen, and now it is in tune. The fourth string is too high, and it says right there, too high, so I'm going to turn it counterclockwise. Until it tells me it's in tune. The fifth string is in tune. The sixth string is in tune. So when the strings are in tune, the guitar should sound something like this. Alright, I'm going to quit the app for now. Actually, before I do that, if you look here at the bottom, there is a there is a little range that says tools, and in the tools there's an entry called metronome. So if you click on the metronome, that gives you a tempo counter. And so up here, it's very slow. You can increase the frequency. We'll be referring to this app, the metronome, in a later session, but I just wanted to make you aware that it exists and it helps us to keep timing on the music that we will be playing. The second accessory that I think is quite important is this one here. This is a footrest. You don't have to have a guitar footrest, but I would prefer that you get some way of stacking your foot up about 2 to 4 inches above the ground. You can have, a small stool or a couple of books, stacked up. The reason is that in this class we are going to be practicing proper posture, and that looks like this. So the sitting position for comfortable playing is with the guitar on the left leg, like this. The body of the guitar pressed against your chest, When you look down, you should see the kind of like at a tangent, the top of the guitar, just looking down. Okay, the tuning keys should be more or less at eye level here, and the reason for wanting to have a stool or a stacker box under the foot is so that the left leg is raised higher than the right leg, and that helps to keep your guitar in place. It keeps you from losing the guitar sliding this way. All right. Guitar is a fun thing to do, so take a deep breath, relax your upper body. That makes your shoulders be kind of square. And what we want to do with our hands to hold the guitar is we want to drape our hands so that the fingers fall sort of perpendicular over the strings. So for that, my right forearm is resting on this edge of the guitar. You see that allows for my hands to kind of like just land perpendicular to the strings. Same thing goes with the left hand. You want to be able to have the hand wrap over the strings. And if your elbow is too close to your body, then what happens is that your um, your hand doesn't have the range required to span all strings that you will be using. What you want to do is just move it away a little bit, and rotate your wrist out like this. Okay? I'll show in more detail in a subsequent slide, but keep in mind that what we want to. Oh, the other thing is, look, the chair I'm sitting on has no arms, and that gives me a lot of freedom to move and to be comfortable. Right? So it's kind of like a good practice to learn to sit in a position that's comfortable, and it will prevent us from getting distracted because of discomfort in our bodies. Again, the left hand will be positioned on the neck of the guitar in such a way that it allows for our hands, for our fingers to hammer down on the strings, well, near just about perpendicularly. So for that, the thumb gets kind of hidden. So, behind the neck of the instrument, okay, that gives us a lot of freedom of movement here. Gives us a lot of range. And in contrast, if you have your thumb over the neck like this, okay, that kind of constrains the right hand. I mean the left hand, and it doesn't really allow it to move. It's not a good idea to place the hand with no slack, so to speak. So what you want to do is press your thumb against the back of the neck and let your fingers just naturally drape and fall perpendicular to the fingerboard. All right. So the right hand. So we're saying what you want to do is just let the fingers drape on top of the strings and fall perpendicular to the strings. And for that, kind of, you want to do something kind of like this. You don't want to play with the hand like if you were playing the piano. You would want to have the hand like this. For guitar, you want to let it fall naturally onto the strings, and that gives you a lot more comfortable playing position. All right. So when you download or have a piece of either musical notation, sheet music, or tab music, you will see the fingers in our hand, particularly the left hand, are numbered. So that's by convention in playing the guitar, your left index is called finger number 1, your left middle is finger number 2, your left annular finger is number 3, and your left pinky is finger number 4. On your right hand, they maintain their names: thumb, index, middle, and annular fingers. We don't use the pinky for guitar playing. least I don't. But just keep that in mind, because from this point forward, every time that I ask you to do some exercise or demonstrate something, I will point what finger goes into what fret, and I will point them out by number for the left hand, by letter on the right hand. All right. So let us here. Let's see. One quick second. Let us transition to the first exercise, and this is the chromatic scale. So the chromatic scale has us playing each note starting on the sixth string on the left, on the E, on the left side of that diagram, open, and then we're going to take our index finger, or finger number 1, and put it on the space in between the bridge up here and the first inlay, and that we're going to call that space fret number 1. We're going to press the string down perpendicularly, and for us who don't have calluses in our fingers, that might hurt a little bit, but hold it down until you get a clear sound. This is not so good. This is what we want. Okay? So we go from open to finger 1 on the first fret. I will leave finger 1 on the first fret, and we take finger 2 and put it on the second fret. Again, we press down hard enough so that we make a clear sound. Then we take finger 3 and press it down on the third fret. Notice that I still have fingers 1 and 2 in place. And now that we have fingers 1, 2, and 3 in place, we press finger 4 onto the fourth fret, and then we fret. So the goal of these exercises is to develop refined motor skills to control one finger at a time. It's also to develop this muscle here, because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be squeezing the neck between your thumb and your fingers, right? And that's going to take some effort here. You need to build the strength on this part of the hand. So again, the chromatic scale begins with the sixth string open, then finger 1 on the first fret, finger 2 on the second fret, finger 3 on the third fret, finger 4 on the fourth fret. Then it moves on to the A or fifth string open, and continues finger 1 on the first fret, finger 2 on the second fret, finger 3 on the third fret, finger 4 on the fourth fret. Then we go on to the fourth string. Notice I'm using just one index for plucking. Open, finger 1 on the first fret, finger 2 on the second fret, finger 3 on the third fret, 4 on the fourth fret. Then we go to the G or third string, and we're only going to be pressing the 3 fingers there, which is open, 1 on 1, finger 2 on fret 2, finger 3 on fret 3. Remember to leave the fingers down until you open the hand to press the subsecond string, which in this case is the string number B, B or second string. And we go again, open, finger 1 on fret 1, finger 2 on fret 2, finger 3 on fret 3, finger 4 on fret 4, and we finish off with the first string open. The chromatic scale. So if you play it from beginning to end, it sounds something like this. let's go backwards. So the way back, I don't need to leave all 4 fingers down, obviously, because I'm going to be lifting the fingers as I move them up. But the key in this exercise is to make sure that every note sounds clearly. Okay, it doesn't matter how fast or how slow you go. You have to make sure that the notes get clear and clear. And as they remain clear, then you can try and increase the speed. This is going to be homework assignment number 1, is to practice the chromatic scale. I'm going to demonstrate in just a subsequent slide how to use 2 fingers to walk the strings, but it goes something like this. Okay, so you want to make sure that every note sounds clearly, and then work on speed. It's just a great exercise before you start playing. It's just to loosen up the fingers and give yourself some mobility. It's just like, running slower on the track before you actually begin the speed workout, right? So, you know what I mean? Yeah. All right. So we've done the first left hand drill. Let's switch over to right hand drill. So for this drill, we're going to take our thumb. We're going to plug the 6th string. Plug the 1st string, the 6th string. Then with our index finger, we pluck the 3rd string. The middle finger plucks the 2nd string. The annular finger plucks the 1st string. So nowadays I'm using T-I-M-A because those are the designators for the right hand fingers. So it goes like this. The thumb strums down, okay, like this. And then the other ones pluck on the strings like that. So again. That is why someone asked if you could use a pick. And no, we want to develop finger dexterity. And picks, they're really good. They help you to make it easy, especially if you're playing steel strings, which are much softer. So, but not for this class. What we want to do is just to be able to develop the dexterity on the right hand. Okay, it comes in handy for just about any genre of music that you would play. Etc. It's just that's what we want. We want finger dexterity. Okay, so we have the right hand drill. We have one left hand drill. We have one right hand drill. Let's work on a second right hand drill. And that one is going to require us to walk, just like this down the string. So we start by alternating index and middle finger and just going from string to string in order. tendency is to want to pull up on the string, you know. But that is not only inefficient; it also leads to inaccuracy. And this is a performing instrument. After all, it really is what it is. And so, what we want to do is to make it easy on ourselves, and we are going to learn to literally walk from string to string. So, let's see if we can demonstrate this. I think you might be able to see this. What I'm doing is I'm pulling on the string and resting my finger on the string above it. So I kind of land there and rest, okay? After I'm done pulling the string, the finger comes to rest on the string right above it. Now I'm plucking the second string, the B string, and my fingers are coming to rest on the third or G string. When I pluck the third string, my fingers come to rest on the fourth string. See, the opposite would be to do this, right? But this is a lot easier. If you want to challenge yourself, try 3 fingers. It's actually something that comes in handy. Yeah, so third drill is 2 fingers for now, and just walk. Okay, and the idea is to just make it so that you keep hitting the count that you want. If you want 4 counts, or you want 2 counts, what if you want 1 count? Be accurate. So develop accuracy, and that will help you to control your right hand. Okay. So we have 3 exercises. We have the chromatic scale, we have the exercise, and we have this one. So that should get us going, with enough practice to help us loosen our fingers, start getting some dexterity, and prepare us for subsequent, sessions where we will be continuing with scales and other things. So I just want to close by wrapping up here. And I'm really sorry that the Facebook Live today was a complete fail. So that was my bad. I forgot to press one very important key. But hopefully you have had a chance to, it's exactly the same information I provided in this video. So I will continue to set up video sessions Tuesdays and Thursdays starting today and going on until through April 30th. The sessions will be from 11:30 to noon Pacific time. They will continue to be on Facebook Live, and I will definitely make sure that this is debugged before the next session. Please go ahead and practice the drills that I have been showing. This video is going now up on YouTube, and I will also have little snippets just showing the drills so that you can refer to those, and there will be more detail. My goal is for us to learn enough to be able to download music from the web and play it. There's so much music out there, written in both musical notation as well as tab. I will describe what that is in a later lecture, probably on Thursday. So I will show you how to play Hotel California by the Eagles. I will show you the chords, Which is kind of like the introduction that I was doing when I started this session. Time permitting, I will actually show you the intro that I do, but most likely you're going to need to have a cable. And this is a nice thing to have, but not necessary for a beginner. In terms of references, if you want to read about where the guitar comes from, Wikipedia has a really interesting article. And my mug is obscuring the last piece of information, but basically it's important for us to take good care of our hands, keep them nice and moist. The fingers on the left hand, you gotta trim your nails so that when you're pressing on the string, it's the fleshy part of your finger that presses and not the nail. That's how you're gonna get good control. On the other hand, the fingers on the right hand, you gotta have some nails because it makes it easier to pull the strings and helps you gain accuracy. So this is a good article, and there's some good information there on how to take care of your hands. So, well, thank you everybody for letting me guide you through these lessons, and I am really excited that you have decided to take on some guitar playing. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time.